Talking about exploration, so Ken has explored various industries in artificial intelligence, various directions. So for your undergrad thesis, you wrote about computer vision and you published in the most recognizable venue, CVPR. What prompted you into exploring computer vision and how did you manage achieving that as an undergrad student?
Yeah, so there was a lot of luck. If anyone says that there's no luck involved, I think it's pretty much lying. It's like you start off in third year of your undergrad. You realize that the machine learning is so heated, so competitive right now that you have to have some form of research experience before you apply to grad school. At that point, I do want to explore grad school a little bit. And so you have to have some research experience, and then you know that you have to get in touch with some professor one way or another. And so what I did was I just reach out to some professor and I say, well, I want to do research with you. I know what I'm going to do. Do you have any projects for me? He was like, welcome. And what do you like to do? I said, I don't know, maybe something related to vision, something related to videos. I said, sure, go ahead. And that's pretty much it. And so what happens is, like, for the first couple months, they were just like reading a lot of, trying to read papers, not even reading papers, but trying to read papers and trying to understand what there is, what things are there for you to do. I mean, as an undergrad, it's totally okay to not know what to do and not know what areas there are to solve. And so initially I just look at a bunch of papers and look at things that I can understand. There's so much things I just couldn't understand. I picked a topic that is kind of easy to get into. It's like a very empirical subject where you train networks to predict human actions from videos and like a specific modality of the human actions, and then you apply what you learn in class. Really, like, taking classes are important. In fact, you learn some techniques and tools, you do assignments, and those things are important experiences. You get the right skill sets, you apply them to your project, and you learn as you go along, and then you just keep doing. And I think it lasts for about 8-9 months. Nothing happened really for the first 7 months. It was really like just randomly trying things and nothing really happened. And research is like that. It's non-linear, and it's like never know whether you will have something at the end. I guess I got lucky in the sense that I did find out something that's interesting and publishable, and then we wrote a paper on it.
No, he actually found out something very interesting. So in academia, there is this notion of citations. Mm-hmm. So how many times your work has been referred by other researchers around the world, and how many times has that paper been referred so far since 2020?
Something like 600.
600.
Yeah.
Something like 600.
Something like
so
600.
not bad.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I mean, but I do want to clarify there, though. The citations are one of the metrics to measure impact, but not all the metrics.
Okay. Let's talk about your university medal. So for those who don't know, the university medal is awarded to one person only for every graduating class. And Ken was the recipient of the class of 2020 undergraduate studies at UCIT. What did you get? How did you get to that point?
I guess you get to there without you get there by not spending too much time on anything else. You spend a lot of time on studying, that's for sure. There's a lot of grades involved. You do have to be the top of the class in one way or another, either in your WAM or GPA, or that your thesis is kind of interesting. They find it interesting. But there's, interestingly, some politics involved. This is very funny because the way this works is, I'm not sure if I'm really revealing a trade secret here, but the way this works is that you're supposed to be, you have your thesis and you have your grades, right? Your classes. And the way the people mark your thesis, right? And think about who marked your thesis. If you're undergrad, usually it's like your advisor and some of their friends. Or you're supposed to look for advisors to mark your thesis. But people don't put all that much effort into marking undergrad thesis. What happens is if you do well, like by some objective metric, like publish some papers, usually they're pretty happy about it. It also depends on who your advisor is. And who they know, and like whether the marker of your thesis is their friend, stuff like that. Okay. So I'm not saying this is what happened with me, but like this can happen in a place where like you can get markers of your thesis where essentially your advisors on the same project or something. But for me, I did the thesis that published into some paper. My advisor helped me got other committee members for my thesis, and they both liked it. They knew my advisor somewhat well, so there's no reason for them to raise any big questions also. So overall, there's no particular reason to say anything bad about this thesis. So it was a great mark. And then on the WAM side, I was doing pretty well.
When was that?
Something about 95, around that. So it was not low, and I think it was that plus the thesis, and then together it was one of the highest mark there is, and so there you have it, the medal. They give it to you. In fact, I don't actually have the medal on the ceremony. They shipped it to me because COVID, which is kind of bad.
You received the university medal in your undergraduate class. Throughout undergraduate degrees, how did you balance studying, doing research, as well as, I hope you have fun, have some fun, but how do you balance that?
I wouldn't say there was much balancing, let's just say. One of the things that not maybe distract, but like the things that you would do when you're young as an undergrad student is that you want to have fun outside, right? And I think one of the things that that limited the amount of time I spent outside of just goofing around is that I had a girlfriend which I knew from high school. We kind of stayed together throughout the whole undergrad. So where we studied together, and then whenever there are breaks, we just hang out, go elsewhere to have fun. It's useful to have someone like that where you are working towards the same thing, and then you are keeping each other away from distractions. Because if the counterfactual is that if I were alone, I would want to go out and like social more and go to all these fun events more to meet more people. That definitely helped me to cut that away a little bit. I mean, and then you go through all the things that you would like to do, either exercising or playing video games. You only have so much time, so if you cut one thing away, you get more time for the other. And also definitely helps to have family around here. So my family was around here. I don't have to worry too much about them. They're being super supportive. I don't have to worry too much about chores. I have sisters who can share that with me. So that was super important about those. So these things are not something I can control, and these are really you just have to be lucky to have them. Yeah. And so once you have all these things, they kind of all together create you a environment where you're not distracted as much with your goals or with whatever you think you want to do. These things all together can push you to do certain things in a focused state, I think. I'd say for the first 3 years, I didn't even touch research. There was things that look like research projects, but that are not really research projects. So at that point, it's really just driven by, doing good in class, which I've been trying to do since high school.
So to summarize that, how can someone today, for example, for a first-year student who looks up to you and who wants to accomplish something similar, but they don't know where to start, how can they build up a system around them, a supportive system to move towards their goals?
Yeah, great question. I think, unfortunately, I do have to put something out first without sugarcoating, is that sometimes I acknowledge that there are students who just don't have the opportunity. They have so much to deal with in their lives. For example, they're short on money, they have to work part-time jobs, and they have family members to take care of. If you're in that position, obviously you are definitely you're facing more challenges than I may have faced, because I didn't have to worry about those things. Other than that, I don't specifically know, or I wouldn't just really say that my way of going through undergrad is the best one. I do regret not doing a lot more things. Great, you get good grades and you get work done, and then some internships maybe. But when you look back, you would have preferred to goof around a little bit more. So, I mean, if you really want to be successful, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what you do in the first couple of years if you're undergrad. Just looking for what you like, I think it's probably more important. It's also lucky to be able to know what you like, at least to a sufficient degree that you are willing to spend time on it. Because a lot of students, they took up a particular major, they don't know if they like it, and they just took it because their peer liked it, and they did that after HSC. If you're starting something you don't really like, then obviously it's harder to spend time on it. It's okay to goof around. I regret not doing that enough. I mean, don't worry too much about the future. I think the thing is, you cannot plan too much for the future. If you do what you like, you'll be good at it.
So follow your passion?
Yeah, I mean,
Do what you like.
to put it, you can put it that way.
And then find someone who is accountable.
Yes, yes. I will add to that, which is like you do want to make sure that you have a responsible group of friends around you, in the sense that they can help you form certain habits and like have certain values that you think are beneficial to you. Obviously, you should meet everyone. You try to like get to know different kinds of people, but at the end of the day, you have certain goals in mind, and you might want to find people that can help you to achieve that goal, right? So, for example, if you want to do a PhD, you might not want to find friends who are really good at drinking. For example, I'm not saying drinking is bad in particular. It's just you have certain things in mind you want to do, and you want to adjust your environment to do it.
So fix your environment, meet a lot of people, meet different people as soon as possible. And then I feel like once you meet a lot of people, you will know what kind of people are beneficial for you. And I think that's when you decide what kinds of people you want to keep close to you, and then what kinds of people you want to stay away from.
Yeah, I guess I don't want, again, I can qualify that a little bit, as in I don't want this to sound off as very snobbish and very selective in terms of friends, but it's more about probably more about what you want. Like if you want something, you know what are good and what are bad for you. You don't necessarily pick people just by that, but you want to have some sense about whether that's good for you, and you can talk to them too. Like I have friends who are not as much into academics as I do, and that's okay, because we are just having fun together. If you're studying, you probably not want to spend time with them to study. You want to spend time with them to have fun, right? Because they're good friends for having fun. So it's not like they're bad people or anything. It's just different kinds of people, and you as an individual, you should decide how you want to spend time around people.